This is really fancy. Really fancy, but this is so much stuff. Oh well. Alright, so let me just reopen my Twitch chat. I think we did just spawn in even though I'm not looking at it. Sorry, I'm just trying to get back to all the important stuff, like...
The game hasn't started yet, so you're alright.
Alright, cool.
Now, Metageddon, is this a map you've seen before?
Let me pop to the match, and survey says yes, I have seen this. Alright, so I was actually watching this a little bit earlier before the tournament started, and from, oh goodness, the ping's going everywhere. Purple, please let me introduce you guys before I start hating on you. Purple, please. So when I was watching some of these guys go, they were talking about how it was really important to just try and get. I believe what is going to happen is we'll have one group spawn here, and then of course one spawn on the other side. And it was really a big important thing to kind of hold this little Thunderdome in the middle. That just mostly because of obviously the extra eco and this apparently the way that the pelters work. You can actually fire over this giant kind of wall here, and the tanks can't fire down, so they could be almost on top of this, but they won't be able to shoot down. So if you get like 15 or 16 pelters here, you can do tons of damage and easily protect these, or easily force them from trying to catch these almost 8 or 9 metal extractors here. So getting this Thunderdome, this little Thunderdome here is absolutely crucial to try and win the match.
Now, the way that I heard it is almost completely opposite, where this little Thunderdome in the middle is practically irrelevant because of how difficult it is to defend, and these little mech clusters around the edge are actually the key, where you have like these single ramps on the sides that someone could come in and take. So
you're doubting me!
You know?
Well, here is the spawns.
I can't say that it was actually Elite himself that said that, so I would expect Team Purple not to be going for the Thunderdome. Team Yellow might get it very easily because of this.
Well, if they do, then I'm just going to start going, ha 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 ha, boo boo, I was right and you were wrong, because we're professional, of course.
Yes, it's not a competition, but I am right. So
of course. So, looking back at how these guys opened up on the comboxing match, what are you expecting to see out of these guys? Are we going to see more or less the same thing? Are we going to see actual air units be used here because of this giant back smashed section of this Annihilator? What do you think here, Red?
Well, we are looking at more or less a completely different map, which would suggest different strategy, but having said that, they are also putting the same 2 players forward while having the same player on eco, so it seems like they have these clearly defined rules, you know, you go back here, you do this eco up, we'll head forward, we'll start the push, and then you steam in with, who knows, tier 2 eco, more units, whatever they need. And this is pretty typical. I mean, the spawns practically encourage it, to be honest, on both sides of the map, but what we do see from Team Purple, which is quite surprising, is an advanced bot factory going up almost immediately.
So I want to blame it on that practicing. I mean, I saw some of these guys doing this a little bit earlier. I know for a fact that we had Elite on here when he was doing this. So the first blood coming out though from the Yellow's commander killing off that air fabricator, and some dogs though immediately on the other side, ready to just try and pressure some of this economy here from Yellow.
And here's the retaliation.
Here's the retaliation. So you kill my anti-air and I will kill your fabricator, and it looks like he's gonna get away with it, so easy peasy trades.
Yeah, definitely not a good trade for Yellow either. But what we also see, quite surprising again, air fabricator coming out from Purple to take these sort of isolated mechs that tend to be forgotten on the top side and bottom side of the planet.
Oh, that's a thing? Oh my goodness, I never knew about that. I'll be darned.
Professionalism. But
well,
I'm so excited right now. I'm so excited for this tier 2 bot factory that's coming out, because I've been waiting to see one of these teams decide, you know what, we're just going to rush T2 from a legitimately early stage of the game and see how that pans out. I really believe that is probably the strongest option.
I think it's going to do a lot of damage just because of how the tier 2 sniper bots work out, since they can shoot literally through anything. I'm going to say it again, but you throw them in that Thunderdome, nothing can kill them.
That's true. If you could get them in there, that would be big.
Yeah, of course. Trying to get them through these little choke points, though, that might be just as hard. Very nice choke points though coming out of Purple. Ping's going down. Obviously, that very nice wall won't allow them to get anywhere near that. Though there is a nice little push at the bottom side here from Yellow, trying to get these walls up. And will we see possibly a go around? Because now at this point, both sides have been choked off. So it's only a matter of time until that kind of giant army explosion. And oh, hello. We've got some units that somehow managed to slip underneath it.
Yeah, I think most of the CSGs around here are actually pathable. So everything that shows up as this kind of blue, this blue lighting area is completely pathable, which can make for a lot of unexpected situations, like the one that we're seeing now. It's not really very tactical, but it could become so later in the game. Imagine some sniper bots down there, blue hawks maybe. It could be huge.
Definitely. Some air units, though, moving out here for, yes, perfect. Alright, so some air units, though, moving out for purple, just going to fly around and get some vision out. It looks like they did, hang on. Circus. Alright, camera circus, that's fantastic. Bot units moving out, trying to just get everything done. This wall, though, these 3 tanks going full on commando, actually, gonna get cleaned up by this. Oh, this flame tank's gonna do so much damage, though. Getting some work done. A pelter, though, coming out from yellow, trying to pressure out that northern double, almost triple lined wall there. Gonna do some serious damage. No, well, the tier 2 is out, and the sniper bots, I called it. Please go to the Thunderdome so I can prove Lucky Red wrong. Please go, my children.
If those sniper bots go into the Thunderdome, I swear to God, I'm going to say it right now, they're heading to the walls to reinforce the units. They're going to shoot over yellow's walls, they're going to push them back this way.
I believe. I believe.
Guaranteed.
Alright, well, I would agree that's probably where they're going to go, because obviously that is the easiest way for the sniper bots to get some damage done. They're pinging on it, and it looks like the sniper bot is starting to take some pot shots off. Whoa.
But here it is, here comes your favorite.
Yes!
For the Thunderdome.
Yes! Go, go, go! Really, so, it looks like yellow has realized... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, yellow has realized. No one is surprised really that yellow's making this move. Like I said, it was Elite originally that said the Thunderdome is useless, so if his team had then taken it, well, GG. GG Elite. Just lying to me about strategy to you. Instantly.
But they do know that tier 2 is up. We haven't seen any tier 2 out of yellow as a reactionary, but they have seen the pot shots coming out from the sniper bots that have been firing, and a lot of them are just kind of randomly exploding at this point, so they do know that that is a thing. They have to be careful now because, well, Lucky Red, let's ask the stupid question, how do you kill tier 2?
Oh, tier 2 sniper bots, tier 2 blue hawks, what would you say? Give me a specific unit.
I want to say tier 2 sniper bots. I would be kind of surprised if we see blue hawks, honestly. I know that they have the missile guided and everything on all that fancy stuff, and maybe they can't throw them through these crevices, but I mean, it's just too turtled up in these little crevices. So I want to think it's going to be tier 2 sniper bots.
Doesn't matter, the answer is docks. It is always docks or bolos will destroy tier 2 as long as they can get within range. Docks are especially useful against sniper bots because they're so spammable. Sniper bots have quite a bit of health, yes, but they also fire very, very slow. They don't deal well with swarms of anything.
Right. Well, looking at Purple's decisions, though, after going straight for that tier 2, they are actually going to go into orbital, and so is yellow. So this is quite the conundrum here. Purple, though, making through the walls, realizing that there's quite a lot of stuff. They're going to have to back up here. Both sides just kind of growing. They're not really trying to kill anything, but at the same time, they're not really able to kill the other off.
Well, let's talk about the eco a little bit, because this is something we haven't mentioned since the start of the game. The tier 2 rush was mainly focused on eco to begin with, and only now we're really seeing kind of a relative build-up of sniper bots. But that is giving Purple a huge advantage in terms of metal, in terms of power, and they seem to be pouring that rather than putting in more production. They're just using as much production as they need to kind of keep yellow at bay, keep them fended off, while they go for this orbital. And who knows, we may actually see a nuke at some point in this game. They could certainly do it.
If we see a nuke, I'm going to be ecstatic. Maybe not as much as seeing pelters in the Thunderdome. I win.
Pelters in the Thunderdome?
I win.
Oh no. It's actually a thing, it's happening. But
the meta has been defined. You've heard it here, folks.
They have no need to go down there. They have no need to go within. They have no need to go within range of a pelter at all.
That is true. The sniper bots can't easily pick them off, though, which is kind of disappointing. But I'm still proud that they made it there.
Orbital Factory coming out from Purple. Are they planning a Sizzix snipe? This is the type of strategies that they have access to with all of this eco. They could go Sizzix, they could anchor spam, they could potentially build nukes, they could just continue to build T2. They have all the options in the world. Yellow, meanwhile, even though they may not know it, I think they're on the back foot. They started their T2 much, much later, and they've actually elected for vehicles rather than bots. They are behind on this T2 production.
Right.
And it's really just an issue of how Purple intends to push the advantage. At this point in the game, I would say they have all of the momentum with nearly double the eco in terms of metal and 8k more power than the yellow team. Doesn't necessarily guarantee them a win.
definitely. So then I think it's safe to say that yellows might not be bleeding out per se, like the metaphorical rusty fork isn't in their stomach, but they are definitely starting to fall backwards. A lot of the air units, though, moving across the base, they're going to start picking off some of these pelters. Sadly, the Thunderdome will see some rain, and the pelter does go off. So, sad day in the Thunderdome.
So, what's your impression of the game so far? What is it that you think the teams are actually thinking in the way they want to sort of pan out the strategy?
What I'm thinking they're thinking is, I think yellow is definitely concerned because they haven't won any moral victory. I mean, we've seen a lot of trading, but in terms of, like, let's just look at the kind of placements here. We saw them fight for both bridges here on the north, south, and even the Thunderdome. And they've lost both the bridges and the Thunderdome per se just because of the sniper bots. Now, we even saw them, after seeing the orbital, they had to go orbital as well, and they just seem to be kind of behind. So they might not have lost the game, but they've lost it mentally. So I think...
So you'd call this a sort of reactionary thing that they're doing. They've been kind of punched in the nose on both bridges, pushed back, they've seen the orbital, they've had to react to it rather than taking the lead.
Yes. It's definitely been more of a retreating, kind of like just trying to catch up because it's like, oh, we're going to do this. No, they've already done that, so it's like, oh, well, how do we one-up that? Well, I don't know. Some docks, though, coming out from the Thunderdome, trying to push into Yellow's base. Obviously, they have a lot of stuff. You know, Lucky Red, could they just push through their base? Because we see they have a lot of units, but so does Purple. So, you know, how does Yellow get through these situations like this? I would almost want to think maybe they just try and go for some crazy Inferno drops or something absolutely ridiculous that might just kind of, that might just catch Purple off guard.
That type of thing could definitely work. I would have said that it is perhaps a little bit desperate, but at the same time we see something like that going on right now where they're trying to path around the back of the base to get in there. Purple does see it and it will react. I'm not so sure why they're sending in these shellers though. They may actually lose quite a few units here.
Oh, these Grenadiers though with that fantastic arc, trying to just kind of force everything away. Oh, that was a nice sheller shot though. That was really nice. I think that's why they try to kind of move them over there. The docks, well, not the docks, excuse me, the Grenadiers just trying to get into there, like you were saying, trying to get that back door. A catapult, though, will go up, and I think there'll be plenty of defense, especially for any future harassment.
So, if you want to talk about how to break a stalemate, like the situation that we're in here, Yellow, just to open up, I would say that Yellow built up a very strong, very powerful army, but chose not to use it, fearing Purple in a way, almost not wanting to commit too much and keeping these units back for defense, which I think may have been a mistake. If they had pushed in, they could have inflicted a lot of damage. It would have set Purple back, would have made the game a lot more even. Purple, meanwhile, content to just sort of sit there, turtling, building up. They know they have an eco advantage, they don't know quite how big, but they are aware they're ahead. Their T2 came out much sooner, they scouted the enemy base, they saw there was no T2. They can afford to take that time and bring out these sort of later strategies like we talked about before, you know, the orbital, potentially the nuke. Who knows, unit cannons, they could bring out the Hawkins, they could literally bring out anything. They have all of the options, and it's just an issue of seeing which one they'll go for. They are taking the time with it though. I mean, I said that a good sort of 3-4 minutes ago, and we haven't really advanced since then.
Definitely. I would think, well, in terms of trying to break the stalemates, I would almost want to think of Hulkins. It's definitely cheaper than trying to go nuke. Of course, as they go nuke, then I'm obviously wrong, but I would think of Hulkins just because it has that fantastically large range, and on a planet this small, I think it was only a planet size of 540, it was either 540 or 700. Either way, you know, you place it sort of near the front, maybe like around here with all this max, and that can easily hit, you know, anything from right about here pretty safely, and that's, you know, quite a bit of space.
So this is pretty interesting. Yellow is sort of tentatively pushing forward, bringing the army up a bit just to see what they can do. Can they take down the walls? Can they maybe push in a little bit, do some unexpected damage? Purple not really bothering to react to it in any way, which is a bit strange considering they could just move the sniper bots forward, you know, take some shots through the wall. Shouldn't really be a problem. They are actually doing... No, they're not doing that. This is pelters. They're putting up pelters now.
Just playing it safe, I guess. So, I think what they're going to try and do is they might just try and well, turtle up a little bit until this nuke comes out, because as we see, I mean, there is literally no reaction from Yellow because they aren't expecting a nuke. I mean, that's almost the equivalent of the Inferno drops, just because it's like, well, you know, we're on a very tense situation, you know, maybe unit cannons, but at this point the umbrellas are pretty much securing that won't be a thing. The anchor line actually quite strong here for Purple, easily securing that Thunderdome. And
well,
oh, go ahead.
Unfortunately, even though the anchor line is coming, I was just about to talk about this. Even though the anchor line is coming out, securing the Thunderdome, making it very difficult for Yellow to get in there. Purple also really reluctant to sort of go in there and take the eco, which by right should be theirs. Still, they should be wary of it. I mean, it's a lower pit in the middle of the map, overlooked by pelters, overlooked by units. How would they really get in there and take this max? They would actually have to push Yellow even further back.
Definitely. Well, I think. What to think in a situation like this? I think what they're doing right now is what they need to do. Oh, the Hulkins though, doing fantastic damage. I'm glad they did pick the Hulkins. That was a fantastic choice. But I think they're about to get one-upped by this nuke that is completed. So red or purple now done. I want to see this puppy fly because after taking all this punishment that they have received, there it goes. Here comes the sun. And we're about to see 900,000 pounds of pure purple fun and sunshine about to smack straight dab in the middle of a Yellow base.
One of Yellow's commanders now retreating, trying to get away from that nuke while the other two just accept their fate. And there it is. Base completely trashed.
That, and here comes the follow-up for a dead commander, and that'll be plenty of bombers. There it goes. Easy clean up, excuse me. And, well, as the metaphorical phrase has gone, the floodgates have opened, let hell be loose.
This is the way it is. Purple, you know, we talked about it before, they sort of took the early lead, they rushed tier 2, they pushed Yellow back, Yellow had to react to everything that they did, and Purple just sort of said, you know what guys, let's sit back, let's build up, let's bring out that advanced tech, let's bring out these late game, you know, these late game toys that will end the game after securing the orbital layer, and then they just fired a nuke. Yep. Really, there was nothing Yellow could do to prevent this. They could have built an anti-nuke, yes, but Purple still would have been ahead.
Great dogs control though from Yellow, even though they are. I think that shot wasn't even gonna let them bleed out. I think that was just a straight up Jackie Chan roundhouse kick to the face. And if they can maybe pull a miracle out of this great defense that they are pulling so far, so good. Maybe they can try and seal up Helm's Deep and maybe make another push, but you know, they're trying to, they're bleeding out hard, but I think they might be able to hold this commander though.
I'd like to believe that they could hold it, but it will be, in my opinion, futile ultimately. I mean, they are trying to rush that anti-nuke now desperately, just to something, you know, sort of prevent that from happening again. But by this point, I mean, can Purple not just afford to fire 2 nukes? They are working on the second missile.
I don't even think they really need to do that. I think if they really want to just be kind of safe and cautious, just move up with the pelter line and just keep kind of slowly forcing them back and back and back until they basically hit the end of the line. At that point, it's just GG. There's nothing they can do. These Shellers actually being able to pick off another commander here, and now literally there is only one. So I think all they need to do is just be careful with their decision making, and they can easily take a nice clean. Of course, as I say that, they do go for the complete overkill choice of another tactical nuke, so fantastic decision making out of them. And, well, forget your anti-nuke because a nuke just hit it. And there we go, the GG.
Come on now. So there it is. I think Purple maybe thought, you know what, this is Lord's Annual, double elimination tournament. It's being casted. Let's show something flashy to the cameras.
Of course, everyone loves a nice flash. And there we go.
Yeah, and I'd actually ask him to just come in here and, you know, get his thoughts on that.
Perfect, yeah. I love interviews.
So, this is a professional trick. Always interview the winner.
Thanks. Yeah, I'll remember that.
I'm not sure why that's the case, you know, but always interview the winner. I may literally just be making that up.
No, that's probably
professional.
Something. It's probably something.
Somewhere it's in the rules.
Oh. Match details, please. Well, that's disappointing. It only gives me the name.
Lee's going to come in and give us his thoughts on the match.
Fantastic.
Hello.
Hello.
Why, hello. And cool. Oh, how are you guys?
Yeah, we're good.
Good.
So,
Doing good.
coming out of that previous match, we noticed that you opened up with a quick rush to T2, which,
Yeah.
you know, excellent, lovely choice. I was really excited. I've been waiting to see this. But then you sort of, you know, you took the entire mid-game to sit back and just kind of, you know, very calmly said, okay, guys, we're ahead on eco. Let's build it up. Let's bring out the advanced toys. Be honest, was that because you're on camera? Or are you just being flashy?
No, I've played a lot on that map. We used to have an old version of Metageddon, which was kind of a small metal boss planet, so it was like kind of 2 lanes. And the good thing about the map is you really need to focus on kind of doing everything at once to effectively pull it off, like getting tier 2 out early to get the eco, etc., etc., just to kind of, you know, snowball on the map, I suppose. And I knew obviously with the map itself how effective going early tier 2 is, getting those big toys, as you say.
Yeah,
Oh,
we
definitely,
practiced a fair few times.
Here's my question. Oh, go ahead. Oh wait, no, that was my voice. Sorry.
Elite, what map do you want?
Do you want to do the next one on Team Arena?
Team Arena it is.
So my next question is going to be, when you guys started to realize that it was kind of getting to a bit of a stalemate, what was your thoughts? Because while me and Lucky Red were kind of like, well, they maybe need to go for some Hulkins, they maybe need to go for, you know, unit cannons. We obviously saw that you guys tried to get through that cheeky little backdoor spot. Was that just kind of how you guys have just been playing it, or was it just that's just how you guys do it?
I don't know, situational, I suppose.
Yeah, I think that was just like a, we'll do something with these units.
Okay.
Yeah, you build them,
Yeah.
you want to use them.
Sooner or
That's
later
the
something
obvious.
will crack.
So, Elite, I have to say thanks to you very much, because at the start of the game, Ghost was absolutely convinced that the Thunderdome in the middle was going to be absolutely vital, and I assured him, no, Elite will not take that. I've won a tenner, so, you know, that's going straight in the prize.
No, because they did build the pelters. Team Yellow did build those pelters in the Thunderdome, so...
Yeah, that's true.
They tried to
The
do
problem
that.
with
They
pelters
tried.
is you can outrange them with shellers, I believe, so...
Yeah, you guys use
you
the
know,
sniper
that's
bots,
true.
and then,
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah, the snipers don't quite outrange a pelter, but generally the pelter can only get 1 shot off, and if you spread out your snipers, you can kind of just push in on the pelters themselves. It was definitely a bit of a stalemate for quite some time, because as you would have seen, they had a lot of armies, we had a lot of armies, and there's not really an effective place to push armies on that map.
Yeah. You just sat back and waited for the nuke.
The practice has really come through. It showed. That was an excellent win. Very, very flashy. Obviously, you know, maybe you're not the showman that I thought you were. If that was tactics, if that was just pure tactics. But good game, guys. Good game. Good win.
Alright, cool. We're
And I'll
gonna
be
get
glad
on
to see you in the
starting
final.
this-
Good luck.
Yeah.
Yeah, see you
Thanks,
guys soon.
See you.
Yes.
Good luck indeed. Alright, guys, so we're moving on to match M now. This is going to be Gandalf apparently hosting Rainbow Races at the minute. I'm not particularly sure that the teams have agreed to this.
All right, so are we just joining matches at random? Is that how it's going?
No, this is actually definitely organised, don't get me wrong.
Okay,
I would
cool.
leave that one. I think he's realised that he had it on Rainbow Race, as in this may not be the time for that.
Oh, okay, because everyone just left. Everyone just disappeared. I was like, oh, there's Octobomb, but that ain't the right person. All right, cool. I will find a way to get that quid back. I will find a way.